Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid, and I am joined once again by Maryland.
Howdy, gamers.
So, it's been a while since we've recorded, and in terms of
Yeah,
real time, we are well, we've started to record again after the tournament's basically been through a big hiatus in uploads, and that's because we had the bot issues where the bot was down for about a month and change. And I think that helped slow the game down some, but it was already kind of in late game slowdown mode.
yeah, and forgive us if we seem to be covering stuff we've already covered, because we did spend a little bit of time refreshing ourselves on the last few turns. But I think it's been almost 2 months since we recorded.
Yeah, and we're old, and so 2 months for us, there's a lot that
Right,
slips out
right.
through the ears. So
Exactly. Yeah, we're goats.
all right, so Marilyn, what's a quick summary of just like long history? Long ago, we had the Vanheim Pelagia wars that ended with Pelagia very adequately defending himself. And then we had Gift of Health get stole by Pangaea, and then what's happened in the past few turns that we just went and reviewed?
Well, we just reviewed that a number of stuff from Pelagia, who has clearly stated that his play right now is to kill the world.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to do armegeddon spam and kill everything and destroy all the blood economy and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that is one of the ugliest forms of late game you can have. It's not quite as ugly as massive tart spam and clams back from Dominion 3, but it's still one of the ugliest kind of ways to end a game.
Yeah, it kind of makes people not want to play with you, but he's playing to win.
This is gonna. Well, sure, this is the tournament final, and he wants to win, and that's a good play.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see war, and more war.
Right.
For the rest of this game.
Yeah. All right, so we have a message from Pelagia. An upside of astral corruption is it's taking time for others to prepare mindless or immortal wish water global casters who could interrupt my planning.
Well, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent
Wish
point.
water global casters. What does he mean by that? What would they be doing with wish or water globals?
Well, wish, they might be counter-wishing, stealing some of his casters, because they could steal Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's true. But honestly, Cthulhu doesn't do very well. I've had Cthulhu with astral corruption up, and I stopped using him. I couldn't. He's not. In my experience, he's not strong enough to survive Doom Horrors.
Yeah, I could see that. I can't give direct experience. I haven't wished for him in so long, I don't remember. But the water globals, I'm thinking Vengeful Water as well as Sea of Ice.
Okay, that's probably it. The Sea of Ice is probably what he's really thinking about. Because if they can do a Sea of Ice and get him off land, that will be a pretty big setback for him.
That'll take a lot of his gem income away, because he's got a lot of gem income from the former Jotunheim lands.
Right. It's also going to make it really hard for him to contest land thrones, which we're late in the game. You know, he's thinking about that now. He has to be, you know, and he's not going to get 5 thrones all at once. He needs to kind of build up his throne collection and defend them, you know, and with Sea of Ice up, that would really block him.
That would make it much more difficult. I mean, he can teleport and he can gateway under Sea of Ice.
Yeah.
But it is a significant limitation. And then, of course, gateway risks horror attacks. So whatever you gateway, you've got to have prep. So he wants to steal the Sword of Orgrimmar.
Right. Wow. So this turn, I'm deploying 2 wishes to mess with Pan. The first will take away the Sword of Orgrimmar. It's with a Dryad who led the attack on the Throne of Death. By the way, not so sure what happened there. Did Pan attack break due to magic phasing 3 more movement from Pangaea? Magic phase.
Oh, that's the freebie Will of Fate sword.
Okay? Yeah. No, it's a very good sword. It's 60 pearls, so he's overpaying for it. But if he can get rid of Will of Fates in a critical battle, it could be decisive. So
No, I understand it. I'm not a huge fan of fighting over artifacts with Wish because it's a very pricey way to do it. But there are a couple it's worthwhile. The Anvil is one. And then what's the one that
Did
lets
pan
you...
attack break due to I don't know what he means by this. I'm guessing multi-phase movement may have been messed up. Normally, if multi-phase movement messes up, it's going to stop the movement order entirely. You don't, like, move halfway. But I'm not sure what he meant here. Anyway, he can probably put that in the comments.
By the way, not sure what happened there. Did pan attack break due to magic phase adding 3 more movement from Pangaea? Weird. If so, as white centers are plenty fast. I'm with you, but I'm not following.
All right. The other will be self-evident. As a reminder, air breathers without gift of water die.
So he's going to try to steal some water-breathing items.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes. Now,
well, it might not be self-evident. We won't be able to see if he... There's the Orb of Atlantis.
Right.
Which is the only artifact that gives water breathing. But I don't think we'll be able to see that as omniscience. We might have to go back and look at the last turn and see... I think we're going to actually have to do that right now.
If an army just up and disappeared.
Yeah, because we won't be able to tell. We're not going to get drowning messages or something, right? So it's 87. Because we're on 88.
Looking at we're looking at a big enemy army in the water. So, no, I think down.
Yeah, I don't think this is it either. But I'm just going to see what he's got here. Yeah, okay. I think this is the Throne of Death, right?
I think he's talking in the pond to the south.
This might be the Dryad that had the sort of... I'm just going to see what we're looking at here. Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. So... But this is not a very impressive army. I think he was thinking one of these magic attacks. This one interrupted the movement of the white... Okay, that's totally what happened. So he's like, okay, there's all these guys who show up here, right? And there's no army to go with them. This is like a pretty significant mage investment, especially when you have like the Sword of Algamare or whatever. But then all these white centaurs still in the cap. Well, the reason is because... basically, this province got disrupted in the magic phase, and so these white centaur weren't capable of moving from the cap.
Right. A Ghost Rider's cap hit.
Yeah.
I think the army he might be trying to kill by stealing the water breathing. No, that's just Mount King. Oh.
Oh, this one. This is
that one. Oh, there we go.
Let's see if we have some Orb of Atlantis action. Sea King's Goblet. Sea King's Goblet.
Yeah, you can't wish those away.
I don't... How is he going to wish... Oh... He can... But this is unique. He can wish for the... For Grayon.
Oh, Garyon. Oh.
And
Garyon is unique.
Here's what he knows, though. He knows that this guy is the only guy with undead leadership. So he's leading all the demon knights. So he's going to, by wish, not only will he potentially steal Garyon, he's going to drown all of the demons.
Okay, there you go. Okay, we figured it out. Good call.
But wish is expensive. I mean, Garyon's worth a lot, but damn. All right, let's see what if we figured this out right. 88.
Well, I think it's good analysis, anyways.
Yeah.
Look at that. They're gone.
Wait, but they're all gone. What I was expecting to see, because the pan, he can't get the pan to go away. He could have mind punted it, maybe.
We should see if
Garyon
shows up in his capital.
Yep.
There he is. He did it.
He did it.
Okay. So that was cost effective, I would think. I mean, what was that? 15 or so storm demons and 20 or so demon knights?
Yeah, it's worth it, I think. And especially if he's able to steal Garyon. He would need to charm him. Which he does. So he gets the items.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I think that's worth it there.
That paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that paid off.
You know, I mean, these guys are really expensive in terms of blood slaves. I think they're like what
Well,
180 or something or 190.
yeah, there's 30 gems of gear there,
Yeah,
plus
but
killing off the roughly 200 to 300 slaves worth of troops.
yeah. So I think it's worth it. It's expensive, and this guy, most of the demon lords really aren't worth the sticker price.
No.
But they're still good.
I like them for specific kinds of diversity issues. I mean, the best of them is Pazuzu, because he can spam that massive numbers of Storm Demon spell.
Yeah.
In Infernal Tempest, I believe.
Yeah.
But the other ones are, they're not good super combatants at all.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he mind hunted this pan here too, because I am actually a little surprised that there's actually nothing. I think he moved the pan off. Was the pan here? No.
Oh.
I think he somehow drowned the pan too, because we don't really see any. He could have snuck move him out. Okay, we wouldn't have seen it.
But well, cool.
All right, so let's take a look. Last turn, there was this issue with the magic phase movement getting blocked. Here, we can see Pangaea protecting against it. And we probably have a remote attack. Oh, my God.
Oh, that is 5
casts. Wow.
My God. That is a lot of Ghost Riders.
And because he's disrupted the normal phase attack, the normal phase movement the turn before, the army couldn't catch up with the mages. Now the mages are stuck, and Arco's taking advantage of the fact that these guys, because they're neutral or independent, they're not aligned to Pelagia, they can fight an out-of-fort battle. So, like, normally if he were to magic phase a guy on top of this, they would go inside the fort. But because these guys are independent, they'll attack outside the fort, and they'll do it in the magic phase before the army has a chance to arrive. And he's stolen the sword of Algumer or whatever, so this is, like, 0 chance of working for Pan.
So I'd forgotten that spell is not actually very costly. It's only 5 gems.
Yeah.
So it's
hard to cast
really
though.
High.
It's what, Death 6?
Yeah, it's Death 6.
Yeah.
Death 6 and Conjuration 9.
Yeah.
But it's not costly. So, although having the fact that he has 5 Death 6 casters, that's kind of impressive for a non-Death nation.
That's very impressive. I mean, it's I assume it means he turned off Wish for a turn or something. And he's also casting it, by the way, with Astral Corruption up.
With Corruption up, yeah.
And
although a 6 gem spell, you won't get very big horrors.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still get a bad roll, and you're risking losing all of the gear you put on those casters, right? So even if it's like on a vampire or a lich or whatever, Lich is who's casting it.
It has to be a lich, and that's a skull face and a staff.
Yeah, so you're risking like 40 gems, even if
50, I think 50.
Okay, yeah, you might be right. So it's a lot if it but I mean it wiped this.
I can guarantee we're gonna get comments in the chat. You guys, your math is wrong. It's not that many gems.
Yeah, probably. And then Pangaea comes in. Okay, so this is interesting. I think this army was probably retreating because he swapped it out with just a pile of Maenads, and which, if he was going to retreat it, and especially if you fight Arco a fair number of times, it's one of the things I've noticed from the times I fought Arco is he is really, 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 really good with exploiting magic phase things like this, like things you wouldn't normally think to do, like he would always be picking off my undead leaders and then magic phasing on top of them before I could get another undead leader over there. And then my troops would dissolve.
I'm just looking at this, and it also turns out that if he'd done 4, it might have worked. But if he'd only done 3 Ghost Riders, it would have failed.
Yeah, he probably needed most of this.
He needed those 5.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well played. Well played.
Okay, and then we have a big battle here, and I think this is popcorn worthy. So we've got.
Oh my.
Oh, my dog wants to play. We've got I've recently just trained her to like actually hand me the ball instead of sit there and tug at me with it, and she's now just coming up and handing me the ball, and I'm like, no, not right now, baby.
It's a big dog, right?
Well, I have another dog now too, so I've got two.
Oh, okay.
This one's a little mutt from the shelter.
One of the tricks I used to do with my dogs is one of them was I'd stuff a tennis ball in a boot. That would keep my dog busy for hours trying to get the tennis ball out of the boot.
Right, I'll have to try that.
The other one is buy a Kong and fill it with peanut butter.
Yeah.
And they'll sit there and fight the Kong, licking away, trying to get all the peanut butter for ages.
I could probably do that. This ball has a hole in the middle of it. I'll have to see if I can do that.
There you go. Fill it with peanut butter. Yeah. Because those Kongs, they bounce funny and all the other stuff. So
yeah.
Anyways, bit of an aside, but I just remember I don't have dogs anymore. I walk my mom's little guy. He's just a little Yorkshire. But when I had big dogs, I had all kinds of tricks to keep them busy when you were trying to do something.
Right. All right, so let's take a look at this. From Pan's side, it's a core of White Centaur with some Evo bait Maenads up front, some flanks of, I guess, Siege Chaff or something, just chaff of Maenads. He's got a Flame Spirit, who's presumably going to be doing Firestorm or something like that.
Heavily geared.
This guy with some... Oh, and so what Pan... My dogs are... I'm going to have to set them out. 1 second, let me pause. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. So it looks like the core... One of the things I had said a couple turns ago was I'm trying to bait out Flames from the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to put together armies that are maybe worth Arco casting Flames from the Sky, but not super worth. And I think that's what this is. So he's got like flame gear on his mages he doesn't want to lose.
Well, how many White Centaurs do you think would... I mean, I don't think I'd Flames from the Sky. I sure wouldn't Flames from the Sky against Maenads. I'd be watching for 50 plus White Centaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that reaches my threshold for what I would Flames from the Sky either. Oh, he's got Cthulhu.
This army doesn't.
This is going to be Master and Slave almost certainly.
Oh, he's turned Cthulhu into a battle mage. Oh my.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think you want to cast Wish with Cthulhu.
Well, yeah, but he's got no... Cthulhu here has no penetration gear.
Yeah, but we'll see.
And that's only 8. It's only 8 pearls, so that's only 1 cast at best.
Yeah, we'll see if Pan gets turn 1 anti-magic. Pan might not be thinking about that right now. So he's also got a Queen of the Storm. I mean, Queen of the Storms, who's got a turn 0 lightning off. I mean, not lightning, storm. He may also do Wrathful Skies. Oh, Cthulhu has done Time Stop. I think that leaves him not enough gems maybe to do...
No, there's not enough there. No, he's not doing Astral or Master and Slave. So we've got...
Will of Fates. Huh.
Will of Fates. Okay.
You have Rush or Strength on Pan.
Army of Lead. Okay.
Army of Lead. That makes these Maenads not complete junk anymore.
Mass Regen.
Weapons of Sharpness.
Firestorm.
Nether Darts. What is this guy casting? Casts Will of Fates. Fog Warriors has gone off.
Okay. And a pile of Water Elementals. Which
Yeah.
got Fog Warrior. Well done. Well done. Timing that.
Doesn't have protection buffs on them, but that's okay.
Yeah, but good timing on the
If these guys get Fog Warriors off, the Water Elementals don't have magic attacks. I'm not actually sure what's happening. Wailing Winds.
Who put up... Oh, one of the globals went down. Oh, that was
Uh,
just a time stop. It only lasts one
yeah,
round.
yeah, okay.
Okay, never mind.
So there goes
Yeah.
Firestorm. Now, do these guys have fire resistance? Oh, we don't have fire resistance on any of them, and he doesn't have Army of Goldoth. To me, the only reason you would not put Army of Goldoth is because he's planning on casting Wrathful Skies. But he hasn't
Yeah,
cast it.
not yet.
I think Pangaea should win this.
Who put up Army of Lead? Pan did?
Yeah, Pan did Army of Lead and Firestorm, which if you don't have fire resistance or also Army of Gold or whatever, you are going to be in deep, deep shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pan must win this, right?
Well, how many white centaurs have left? I mean, the main ads
No,
are
they've
dying
been getting
like
fucking mulched.
They're getting creamed.
Oh, wait, they have fire resistance now. I could have sworn... Wait, we have to watch some of this again. I could have sworn they didn't have it. Maybe they put it... I think he put it up later. Acid Storm.
Well, and water elementals have natural fire resistance.
Yeah. So on this turn, people don't have it yet. There it just went. There went Army of Gold.
That was Army of Gold. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So at this point, and now let's see what these guys have for the buffs. They don't have... I wasn't sure who was... Okay, no, there's some Weapons of Sharpness getting cast too. So he basically, I think, is Army of Gold caster. I don't know if it was this guy or the...
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 Weapons of Sharpness. First.
Yeah. So these guys all have Weapons of Sharpness. And...
so they're just eating the white centaurs.
Yeah. Now, the White Centaur do not have Weapons of Sharpness on them. All right, so I think that's the deciding thing is there's a bunch, with the water elementals and all these guys, there's a bunch of AP attacks. There's also Acid Storm up, which was cast by Pelagia, which doesn't probably do a ton with Army of Gold up, but...
But it trashes everybody kind of equally.
Yeah. And then the Wraith Lord that cast Wailing Wind, I don't know if we can see who that guy was, but let's see if we see a Wraith Lord back here. Okay, this is it. Yeah. It's Pelagia's Wailing Wind. So I think some of the Pangaean Mage Corps ran away too.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, that was a stomp. A serious raffle stomp.
Yeah.
He didn't catch... Well, he caught the pans.
Yeah, let's see what gear was on these pans. I think he had a fair amount of gear on them. Yeah. This is an expensive pan. And this is an expensive pan, and both these pans died.
Well,
yeah. I mean...
And a Rune Smasher, so he was trying for a charm play, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, this is... 30... This is 30 gems plus some slaves, and then this guy is... this 20... So 30, that's 40... 55 gems, not counting the kind they have in their inventory. I mean, this is like a global... Ooh.
Wow.
It didn't hardly cost him anything.
25 white centaurs dead. A flame spirit and 2 pans. And a vampire lord. Well, the vampire lord will come back, but... Well, that was costly.
Yeah.
Pan paid deeply for that one.
Yeah. Some of this too, I think what Pan is kind of suffering from a little bit is it's one of the things I kind of talk about, and I have like a nebulous definition of, but it's initiative. And
I'm with you on the term initiative. There's another term I'm trying to remember. One of the great generals, I think it was Patton, talks about it.
Yeah.
That there's a certain quality to just never stopping attacking, because you don't let the other guy catch his breath.
Yeah.
You just pound it and pound and pound. It's costly in troops. Although Patton was never one to hold back on spending troops.
Yeah. What I mean by initiative is not even just like whether you're attacking or defending. In some ways, like attacking, you're more likely to be having the initiative, but you can have the initiative on defensive too. To me, what it means is who is disrupting the plans of the other person and basically setting the rules of engagement. And
I was just reading a Neil Stevenson book, and I'm trying to remember the name of the book, but he has a word for it, and it's the title of the book. And it's like freedom of action, or
yeah,
I have to look that up. But there's another word for, I think what you're saying is you have initiative, being that you can choose when to pick fights and when not to pick fights. And that's the power.
yeah.
Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, part of it, it's not only choosing when to pick, but how to have them. And, like, in some ways, when you're on the defensive, you can have initiative because you can choose when or when not to have a fight. But, but like Pelagia controlling movement with the with the magic phase attacks.
Absolutely.
And then,
yeah.
Like this, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Pan... like this, part of this was, I think, Pan trying to bait out flames from the sky, but which also is a way of kind of controlling, of having initiative, which is if you have a big hammer, which is you can spam flames from the sky at people, you control the kind of armies they can put together. So Pan doesn't want to doomstack super big, and so he doesn't doomstack super big, and then Pelagia is able to take fights like this, right? And that is all him controlling the way the engagement happens.
Well, yeah, and all I'm kind of getting at is there's another word sometimes used in strategic discussions or strategy discussions for the idea of initiative, or the idea of you have freedom of action. Freedom of action is the best I can come up with at the moment. But if you have freedom of action where you can move, Napoleon was brilliant at it. He would split his armies in half and then kind of maneuver them around, fooling people to attack what looked like a weak army, and then bringing the second army in just at the last minute to crush from a flank.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so that's most of what's happened on the southern front. There's a little bit of raiding here. Oh, just look at this, because it's a mystic. See what he did.
Cheap something.
Oh, frozen, mist form, frozen heart.
That's kind of funny. Oh, well.
He's got some cold resistance, and
that's pretty hefty.
He was a raider boy, she said. See,
that's an expensive thug.
Yeah.
Multiple 10 gem items.
Yeah, a lot of his thugs have been coming from gear he's looted off people, so I don't know how much of it he actually built, but
of course.
Underwater here, let's see what's happening. So Pelagia sends a little raiding force out. I think this is a gem bait squad. Sea trolls and demon knights. Army of lead.
Sea trolls.
So he successfully gem baited and summoned a lot of water elementals. But storm demons are no fucking joke underwater.
No, the fact that they can shoot their lightning underwater is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really doesn't. Thematically or lore-wise, it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
It's been around for ages. I just think it's very odd.
Yeah, lightning doesn't work underwater like that. You can shock something that's right next to you, but you can't shoot lightning over long distances. Yeah, that's not how that works.
No. Shock does not travel in the water very far. Very far.
Yeah, it travels, but it just disperses. It just
it spreads all over the place. It goes in, it does kind of like a fingers of tickle.
All right, so he has laid siege to this and seems to be successful. We'll have to see if Pelagia gateway stuff in or what they try to do to defend this. But this is a pretty committed attack, and this certainly was not enough to take that.
Well, does Pelagia care about that province? I mean, it's got good gem income,
I think
but
he.
how much is it? How much is it worth defending? How
Uh,
strong's that fortification?
it's about to go. I think it's 400. Yeah, it's a kelp forest or fortress. So, um, I'm not sure. I think he. I mean, it's nice to have as a rating base. I mean, I think everything at the end of the day is a little disposable. You know, like except a throne or a capital or something. But
Well, based on his comment that his play is to do Armageddon or Armageddon,
yeah,
people have many different pronunciations. If that's his play, losing the odd pawn isn't going to seriously affect his play. Although that is a lot of gems. I mean, what are we
yeah,
looking at there? 7, 1, 2,
4.
only 4. Okay,
Yeah,
no, that's not
but
that
I
big.
mean, still, it's some of it's the principle. It's also losing a fort and the infrastructure, and it's the principle of letting a land nation take an underwater fort from you.
There is that. There is that. But he should have options for relatively cost-effective defense from inside the fort.
Yeah. All right, so I think let's scroll through these real quick and make sure we didn't miss anything. There's a horror attack we kind of missed here. We had a
Yeah.
Horde of Hell attack that failed.
Okay. A little bit of Almish counter rating.
This is
Oh
another
my.
life after death conversion.
Oh, but that time it
That
worked.
time it worked. I wonder what he did different. Maybe he had to put something on the vampire. Maybe he just brung these slaves. I think the slaves might have been
Maybe that
enough.
was enough.
Yeah.
Maybe that was enough. Because we've talked about this, that this is a negotiated agreement
Right.
that Pan is just deliberately helping Ashdod convert some of his expensive magi into cheap magi.
Yeah. We've seen that. We've seen that. We've seen this. Okay, I think we've seen everything. So,
Yeah, I think we've covered it.
what are your
Now it's
thoughts
just kinda,
about this turn in closing?
I think Pelagia made a couple of really effective plays. Stealing Garyon was very effective. That was a lot of good attrition he did cheaply, relatively cheaply. I mean, it's not cheap, 100 pearls. He had one exceptionally good fight. He really is still at no significant threat to his land territory in Jotun.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen the Armageddon go up. Would we see it?
Yeah,
That's something
yeah,
I'm
we
not
would
really
get.
sure.
I think we would see it. I think it's a
Well,
worldwide event or something. I actually don't know. I've never actually had it cast in a game. Strangely.
not only that, we should see a whole pile of our scouts die.
Oh yeah, should probably
Like
kill them.
they should all
Oh well,
die.
they've got a lot of hit
Yeah.
points, so maybe not
How many?
40. So they would probably survive.
Yeah.
Where's our little outpost?
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
So I think.
but I mean, we should
But
just be able to tell.
this
We just
game
look
is.
at a cap and we'll see the caps dying in population. So
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. I don't know. I think things are stable. Let me put it that way. I don't think anybody gained a massive advantage. I mean, Pan is massive. He's got monstrous size armies.
Yeah.
Ulm and Vanheim really did not do anything towards Pelagia this turn. So
I think Ulm can attack this turn. I think those attacks can be issued this turn, and I think Ashdod can attack turn after. So not this turn, but in a turn or two. Ashdod, I think, stands to gain a lot from this because a lot of this is basically a lot of this is just this unforded land that was Jotunheim's that is often very far from the coast. Like even these two forts he would go after aren't coastal. So I feel like this is a great deal for Ashdod. Ulm, I feel like, has a bit harder time because they have to push into coastal stuff. It's more forded in general.
I just noticed something kind of interesting in the pond, just a little bit northwest of your cursor. I see some of those flame jellies.
Oh yeah.
Those can really trash things.
Yeah, I haven't seen them used
Yeah,
that much. I know part of it, I think their fire shield is bugged or something. It doesn't work. But I think they're still pretty good
I don't know.
otherwise from their attack. But yeah.
Yeah, well, as far as just attrition, I think they're quite cost effective.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think this turn really. I don't think the situation has changed in significant ways. I mean, Pan can eat these losses.
Yep.
Well, the loss of White Centaurs is tough, but he's had a lot of turns to buy White Centaurs without interference.
Yeah, and Pan's shifting kind of into being a blood pan too, with having Mount Chaining. So he's
Exactly.
much less reliant on these White Centaur than he used to be. So, but yeah, I think that some hard blows were struck this turn, but I don't think in any way either of these fighters is close to disabled. So
No.
But yeah, all right. So thank you for joining me today, Maryland.
You are most welcome.
And thank you all for tuning in.
We will be, I think, back to a more regular schedule, although, your upload schedule isn't going to change a heck of a lot. How many days is it taking to do a turn right now?
They got 3 turns done in January, so
3 in the whole month.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get. I'm hoping for 7 or 6 or 7 in February, but we'll see. With this, when we're recording this beginning of February, but there's also a chance the game ends, and if the game ends, then I'll be able to have a steady release schedule. But hopefully you and I are caught up by the time the game ends too, because I don't. Once the game ends, we're gonna know, and I don't want the suspense for us to be broken. It's like I don't want to see the ending of the book before we get there. So
no, we've talked about that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
All right. See y'all.
Bye, guys.